You find another one?
Roller coaster up on.
This was on my list.
It's definitely gonna be different. Be on the other side.
It's supposed to.
Yeah.
I've never had.
I get it.
Best.
Yes.
So I think it was
Yeah.
She's. Kids out there. I know maybe it's. She said she was just saying. She just. I see.
Yeah, then I got another one.
Mhm.
Even today.
Why did you make you feel theory? Oh, there's she's got a bingo personality. I don't know. So I forget the classes. No, I can readers. I can. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Fabulous.
Good. One switch for three.
It's so stressful. I'm actually leaving. Good days. Wednesday, Lisa Pierce's daughter Joseph's getting married. Would you go with No.
She was getting married.
I feel a little guilty leaving school when it's in that chaos. Yes. I'll get over it.
You'll get through it.
No,
These
so
schools-
tired.
Yeah.
Close to my bedtime.
I've never taken that many days like during school.
Hey, Laura's talking about your new truck.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, looks like a Paris jumper.
It will, you know, that would be the.
Yeah.
All fights, all battles, that one is gonna be.
Tell them that we're going to reconsider our, that was been available.
Semi-rich fire.
Yeah.
Construction. That thing's big enough. You can, depending on the structure, location, and everything,
We didn't.
it's a one-man show. You can.
Well, I got it,
One
I've already
person can
taken
get
it.
that truck and then start
They,
fighting. And not even have to get out of it.
It's 5:35, I call me in order, if you'd like to join me in the pledge of allegiance. Oh, there's like. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I should probably wait until it's my time to comment, but I absolutely love the tree upstairs and downstairs driving by. It's at night, it looks fabulous. And well, the kids all know Elf on the Shelf's down there, so just keep that in mind. Okay, proclamations, we have none. Public comments, so that would be you gentlemen, go ahead and write.
Floyd Cole, Brian Langer here to represent Hiawatha Baseball Softball Club, and appreciate you giving us time tonight. We want to give you an update where we're at on the softball field. We're very excited. We partnered with Architect One out of Topeka to do the design layout for the softball field. We didn't feel comfortable doing this one on our own. Too many dollars involved, too many details, so we partnered with them for an architecture firm. Morgan Gales, who is our lead on the project. She played softball all the way from little to college level, and her dad was on the softball board in Topeka, so they understand softball. That was the reason we chose them to partner with. They made some beautiful designs. I've got renderings out there. I think you guys may have renderings in front of you, so you can see what we're looking at. The field is actually going to be dropped down about 7 foot from where the drive is to the Robson Center. That'll be the plaza area where that drive is. We'll drop the field down about 7 feet. We'll have seating behind it that will also be lower down there. Plus, those that are up on the plaza level can look out over the field and so forth. So it's a really cool layout. We have a budget of about $750,000 for the project, is what we're working with. We intended to put artificial turf in this when we first dreamed about this project. When we started looking at the numbers in the budget, the artificial turf was about $350,000 added. And with our fundraising, the way it's going, we just really felt that was going to drag this project out another 2 or 3 years to raise the additional money. And we felt like if we did that, we we're going to lose momentum. So we backed up a step and said, we'll forego the turf for now. We're going to get the field built. We're just going to be grass outfield, dirt infield, all to the best designs, all slopes with drains so we can play ball on it right away after the rain. And it will be turf ready. We'll have the concrete perimeter. So if 3 or 4 years down the road, somebody comes in and takes a donation or we get fundraising in place, we can upgrade it to turf without having to completely redo everything on the field. We will have to remove the dirt, put a liner, a rock bed in there, and then put artificial turf in, but it will be turf ready. So we're working on that. We have raised about 1/3 of the funds. We wanted to go after some grants early on. What we found out is you need to have it completed within a year, you need to have plans, you need to have budget, and we didn't have all that when we first started looking at grants. So now that we've partnered with Architect One, the designs are done, we have our budget, we have the plans, we have the renderings. So now we are chasing grants. We have a professional grant writer out of Manhattan who's working with us to help us go get some of those bigger grants. So that is part of the phase. We're here tonight for one, update you on the plans, hopefully get your approval to move forward. 2, we'd like to request a letter of support from the city to commissioners, the mayor, however you guys choose to write that up, so that we can include that with our grant applications. Having your support and also maybe mentioning that we have completed the Robson Center and are moving forward on the softball field and you guys are behind us on all that. And obviously you've leased the ground, so I feel like you guys are there. That's request number 1. Request number 2 is to waive the fees for the building permits that we're going to have to get when we get ready to really actually start building. Our timeline is currently, we'd like to start moving the dirt in January if the weather will hold and have the field completed by about October of 2025 and be ready to play ball March 2026 when the girls start high school softball. So it's a fairly aggressive timeline, but with the conversations we've had where we're at, the designs, visiting with contractors, we think it's very doable and we're going to make it happen. So second thing we want to request is, or third thing, excuse me, would the city be willing to pay for the water or provide water for the irrigation system for the field? It's right adjacent to the other field. You guys are providing water for Legion Field. We think maybe this kind of falls in that same category. And so we'd like you to consider that. Possibly also same way on the lights, electrical. If the city would be willing to help us with that, that would be a huge plus. And the fourth thing that we would ask is, and we did this on the Robson Center, some of the utilities and so forth that the city employees were able to help us with, provide the employees any materials we would provide. If you guys are willing to share on the labor on that, that would be huge. So those are the 4 requests. The letter of support, you put.
I'm sorry, you would provide the supplies.
We would provide materials and supplies, yes. So we're just looking for labor. And some of the equipment you guys bring to the table too. So just to summarize, a letter of support for us to help us on some of our grant applications, waive the city fees for our permits, for help with water and electrical, for the irrigation and lighting on the field, and make staff available to help us on the utilities install and so forth as it pertains to the city. That covered what I missed. I ran through it really fast, but yeah, if you guys have questions, we're happy to answer.
And we've done this for the original field, right?
We did it for the Robinson.
We
Yeah, and another field too.
Yes, we did do this for the rooms. As far as the utilities and labor. Yes, we are paying our own water and electric there. But we knew it was a unique situation with that being a building and so forth, but this being the ball field. The other thing, and Brad and I briefly talked about this is proposed for the high school program, obviously, is priority, but we also see the city programs using this as well to give us 2 fields for practice time and playing and tournaments and so forth. So,
Yeah, so just like the Robinson Center, the idea was to have facility for baseball, softball. We knew it was bigger than that. It was more community building. So there's a lot of ways this field can be used and maybe we haven't even thought of yet. But we know Parks and Rec probably use an extra field, especially with Parks and Rec teams. We could host tournaments. Parks and Rec is not going to be responsible for chalking it, maintaining it, anything. The same thing we do now, we'll take care of it. But it could get a lot more use, even not going turf where you can have different pegs and stuff like that, different, age groups play on it. So it could be utilized even more now.
And are you asking the school for support and everything as well, or
And
is
they're
this?
next.
They're ready.
So you know, Becky knows as well as I do, these projects don't get done without the three, community, school, and the city, in some way, shape, or form. So yes, all three have to be involved. In what capacity? Obviously, that's up to all of you. But the community has shown their support and they've stepped up and they helped us build a $500,000 facility that's completely owned free and clear without any grants or anything like that. So,
Which I don't know how y'all did that. I'm just gonna say.
well, thank we did the easy work. Thank the communities.
Community got behind us and made it happen.
Yeah.
Well, I
We
see
just
this
steered.
as being very good for the city,
Oh,
for
absolutely.
the community,
Yeah.
for everyone. This is a very, community minded.
And that's our whole goal, right? Number one,
Right.
kids. And number two, our community. We live here, we give money back here, we
Right.
care about it. It's, not only improvement, but almost survival to us, to an extent, right? It's for small towns. So,
There's gonna be, revenue coming in.
oh, absolutely.
I'm actually for all four of these. I see it, but nothing.
We appreciate that support. I just go in here real quick. The ball field at Bruni does not meet the requirements for the patient and all that, so they can't host tournaments out there. Our goal is that this facility would meet all of those requirements, fence distance, fence height, all of that stuff, so we can start bringing tournaments into town, which one, keeps our kids in town rather than traveling to Kansas City. But it also brings all those other teams and parents
Exactly.
into the community, so.
Would Acacia come with only one field though? As far as tournaments and stuff?
I'm not sure the PlayStation tournaments, but we want to host traveling tournaments and so forth like that. We also have the opportunity to maybe tie Horton, so both the ball fields together to host some bigger tournaments if we need the additional fields.
I was gonna ask Brad. And then, I mean, how soon do you want an answer? Relatively soon. I mean, where are we at in the process?
Like you said, our goal is to move dirt to January. So, everything's quick. I mean, we started that building before.
Yeah,
Maybe we
but
should,
Yeah, before
but, no, we're confident in the conversations we have and the plan we have in place, but again, we're not here to rush anybody. We're not.
that, we don't necessarily have to have an answer tonight, but over the next couple of weeks, if we could have.
I mean, I'm counting on snow days in January, so I'm just saying.
So, but my question is there any reason for us not to move forward? Is there any hesitation there?
Brad, what do you have to say?
I think that we could get a motion. I mean, I know that I met with Troy and Ryan here, 2 weeks back. We had a very, very nice meeting. We went through a lot of these plans. And I kind of went through on the utility side, what we would be able to do, because I know where a lot of those utilities are. The work for the city would be fairly easy. I think that for tonight, I think that if we had a motion to allow them to move forward with construction, to give a letter of support to them, and to allow the city to help with the construction part, I think that'd be fine. The utility part we would need an amendment to the lease in order to do that, so we'd have to bring that back at another meeting. But that's certainly something that can be done.
As far as us paying for the
As
utilities?
far as those
I mean, that was the one of the whole list. That was the one thing I questioned was paying water and utilities the whole time.
We would have to amend the current lease that we have to do that, but that certainly can be done. And so for tonight, I think just a motion for it to allow the construction to move forward, letter of support, and the help with the water line like we did in the past. Like you said,
What?
Wait.
No,
and
wait.
waiving the permit fees. That's correct.
Yes.
Tony, was that the motion you just said?
Yes.
Oh my God, I thought I heard you say that.
Exactly. It was word, I absolutely word.
I love that.
I'll second
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to do all the above that Tony just suggested. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passed 3-0. We did this I can remember it all.
I was trying to watch it.
Well, thank you very much. We sure appreciate that.
I appreciate what you guys are doing. I said, I think you need to go into another career as far as grant or fundraising, because the fact that you've gone as far as you have is fantastic, so.
We just have a wonderful community and lots of support from it. So
Absolutely.
thank you from the commissioners.
Yeah.
We'll get with you on the amendment to the lease. We'll get that in front of you. We'll get that back here.
Okay.
So tell the school district they need to ante up and do better.
So if you guys want to help us, 350,000, we put turf in there.
Yeah, anyway. Thanks for coming.
Just throw that out there. Yes, you have any thoughts and back to your mind.
Can't hurt to ask, right?
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Okay, moving on to the next, Stacy. You'd like to come up? Yes, it's your turn.
She's irritated with me. Hi, I'm Stacy Wilhelm, and my sister Shelley Mercer, we're daughter Shelley Haverkamp, my dad's. We're daughters of Bill Collins, and we've been working with Brad to donate a bench that says Mayor Bill Collins on it. And that's why we're here tonight. We discussed, it's an 8-foot bench. It's black. Brad and I discussed this afternoon, sitting it out front, maybe just west of the planter. So that's all I got.
I put a copy of the
You guys have a picture of it?
bench.
Okay.
Did you ever talk to Stacy? I mean, we had that brief conversation. Did you talk to Stacy, or is this where you guys kind of decided?
Yeah, Stacy sent me Brad. Yep. So then we got with Brad, and really excited to see Brad as the city administrator too. My dad, I remember him as a little boy and having a little cowboy being our city administrator here. This is pretty neat. So,
Pretty cool.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
I think it looks fabulous. I mean, and a place for people to sit, to watch the parade.
That's what Brad said too. It's a good spot for it. He actually picked that out. So, Brad mentioned too that the city would install it for us. We'll pay for it with Dad's Memorial. So, that's all we have really.
And then that, Brad?
I just think that this is a great project. I know when it came up, these are the types of things that you can really get excited about. It really commemorates Mayor Bill Collins's service to the city, his long service to the city. And as a public servant, his service is something that we can all strive to. So it's going to be a very nice memorial.
So do you need a motion to approve or just?
Yes, I'd like one.
Well, I'd like to make a motion to approve the purchase of or the installation of a bench to honor Mayor Bill Collins. That will be paid for by his memorial. So is that good enough? Moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
The trust is good with this.
The trust is good with this. I made sure to check with them. I emailed them. They're good with this. I checked good to make sure what we need to do. We're all good with what we're doing here. So everything's fine.
Thanks for asking. So thanks for asking that. Appreciate that. So Don?
On there.
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion passed 3-0. Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you.
So how long do you think we'll take to get this?
Sure.
We will get with it. So we're going to work their review process. So we're going to get with the company, get this ordered, and we should have an idea of how long it's going to take.
I think it's great.
Thank you.
I do too.
Thank you.
Good.
Appreciate it.
Stacy.
Thanks, girls.
Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. Brad, do you have anything with that?
So, if you notice, there is two, it's really one paid out for the airport, but it's for both runways, and so the total of that, it's a total of those two sums, and so it's $113,533.50. That's for the runway 1028 and 204,941.50. And that's for runway 1735. That project is done. We have a request from Bob Ronning for demolition on 510 North 9th. The gap requirement, so that is a resolution. That is something that we do every year. This is just waiving those gap requirements. And the pay request from Urban Built Contractors for $162,000. and $72. And so I don't have anything else to add to that. Listen to your questions.
Can we demo that house or do we still have to wait until the last question?
So you still have to wait for the whole asbestos.
Motion,
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
been moved in second. Any further discussion? Not done.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion passed 3-0. Moving on to new business, since we have no old business. So Brad, for the 2024 budget amendment hearing.
I believe.
You have to open it. Oh, how? What am I doing? Is that, I don't have my glasses, so. What do I have to do? Make a mo- or I'm opening or make a motion?
Open the regular.
I'd like to open the budget hearing portion of the meeting. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Maybe motion to.
I'd like to make a motion to open,
There you go.
open the budget hearing portion of the meeting. We do this every year. Someday I'll remember, maybe not. I don't know. Is there a second?
Second.
Get me out of here, okay. With a second, any further discussion? No. Aye.
All opposed.
Motion passed 3-0. I really hate let's do this. Okay, Brad, now that we've opened the budget hearing. Is there any public comment that would go with the amendments that we're proposing? Okay, hearing none. Brad, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, so what we would be doing, we have two budgets within the city funds that we need to amend. One is water. The adopted budget for 2024 was $1,112,000 and $112,385. The proposed amended budget would be for $1,210,606. Second would be the sewer, which the adopted budget for 2024 was $1,256,369, $256,369. And the proposed amended budget for 2024 is $1,351,369. And this is due to, especially on the water side, this was due to needing to add an extra evaporator out there at that lagoon. The sewer side, it was a lot of equipment maintenance that was really needing to be done. That's the reason these budget amendments went. That's the reason for these budget amendments, but those are the amounts.
And so I have no public comment. Commissioners, do you have any questions? Tony, I know. Now I would entertain a motion to, what?
Good now. 2024.
Is there a motion to adopt the 2024 budget amendments?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and second to adopt the proposed amendment to the budgets. Any further discussion? Not done.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion passed 3-0. I'd like to make a motion to close the budget hearing portion of the meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Any further discussion? It's not done.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion passed 3-0. See, I'm a quick thing. Moving to the next item on new business, sewer jet bids. So would that be Brad or Dom?
Dominic.
Your name's on it.
Sorry, that's my fault.
Good evening. On December 4th, the bid was open for the sale of a 90s model 747 sewer jet. The item was put up for sale after the purchase of our new sewer jet earlier this year. My recommended action, I recommend to sell the used 90s model 747 sewer jet to Roland Keller for his bid of $1,200.
I mean, because there would never be a reason we would need to, is there? Especially this one that you're done with.
Yes. That new one is so more upgraded. The old one has a VHS camera on it. You don't need that anymore.
Beaches.
Yes,
Yeah, it's time to line.
but no, that's my recommendation to sell it to Roland Keller.
Jeff, anything else to add, Brandon?
I don't have anything to add to that. I think that it was a fair bid. I think I would also recommend it.
I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to sell the used nineties model 747 sewer jet to Roland Keller for his bid of $1,200.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the bid from Roland Keller. Any further discussion? Not, Don?
All in favor?
Aye. Motion passed 3-0. Thank you, Dominic. Go to Vegas now. $100. Andy, you're on next for a lot of them, so.
So there's three ordinances, the next three items on the agenda. I'll start with ordinance 2133. In 1977, when the city recodified, we included a local prohibition against the possession of marijuana and drug paraphernalia. It's been the same since 1977. So in 2022, the Uniform Public Offense Code that we adopt every year included a provision to make it illegal to possess marijuana and drug paraphernalia. So currently we have it. So in our original local ordinance is outdated and needs to be repealed. So ordinance 2133 repeals our local ordinances regarding marijuana. I want to be clear. I've been asked to make this clear. We're not legalizing marijuana in the city of Hiawatha. It's still illegal. We just don't need to make it illegal twice anymore. So I would recommend that we pass ordinance 2133, which would repeal our local ordinance. It's not necessary.
I mean, and the idea is we're trying to clean everything up, right?
Yeah,
So
it's
why-
there. Ours is antiquated. It's no longer carries the proper penalties that are associated with it by state law. So you just need to get rid of that one.
Is there a motion?
I make motion that we adopt ordinance number 2133. Repealing Hiawatha Municipal Ordinance numbers 11-202 and 11-203.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? If not, Don?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion pass.
What?
I didn't vote. I said vote.
Oh, I just assumed you did. Motion passed 3-0. So moving on to ordinance number 2134.
Okay, a year ago or so, the commission was addressed by the Humane Society and the vet clinic about doing away with some of the regulations and registration we have for felines and house cats. I took a very long time to get that done. The ordinance in front of you today, ordinance 2134 amends Article 2 of Chapter 2 of our city code, which currently regulates dogs, felines, and house cats. The ordinance in front of you now just regulates dogs. There are no registration requirements or leash laws for cats in the city of Hiawatha. So it's been approved by the commission. We just haven't passed the ordinance making it. So
Is there still a limit on how many cats you can own?
no, but there is something we're going to talk about next that might help with that. So,
This is just saying we're no longer going to tag cats.
right, we're not going to tag them. There's no longer a crime called cat at large. We don't have leash requirements for cats.
I have all kinds of smiling comments, but I'll just leave it as, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance number 2134, amending Article 2, Chapter 2, the Hiawatha City Code concerning dogs within the city of Hiawatha.
Dog or cats?
It is now just dogs.
Yeah,
Okay.
just,
Because you took the cats out.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to adopt ordinance number 2134. Any further discussion? If not, done.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion passed 3-0.
Okay, the next ordinance is 2135, and I apologize, I didn't get a memo when the packet went out. I tried to get an email out to everybody. There's been some discussion in recent months about the harboring and breeding of animals in residential neighborhoods. I think there was a specific complaint that our police department investigated where a resident indicated they were interested in breeding mice as a food source for snakes, something along those lines. So in the zoning ordinances, which were updated by ordinance 1002 some time ago, there's a definition of kennel boarding and kennel breeding. Right now, they pertain only to dogs. So the proposed ordinances in front of you would update the zoning regulations to include all animals. So it would prohibit the boarding of animals, which is the professional boarding of animals. So you couldn't have someone in a residential neighborhood that has a collection of dogs, cats, or otherwise that they're holding for other people. It also wouldn't allow a resident in a residential neighborhood to breed animals, which would limit the number of any specific type of animal they could have to 3. So this ordinance we haven't discussed in commission before. This is the first time you guys are seeing it. So we kind of wanted to take a little bit of time with this one too. So right now, if you talk about dogs, we have a city ordinance dealing specifically with dogs and the regulation. We have a city ordinance specifically prohibiting chickens and other fowl outside. We have a specific ordinance that prohibits exotic animals, including venomous snakes or snakes longer than 6 feet long, ostriches, llamas, things like that. So this wouldn't make it illegal to breed or board animals in the city. It would just be restricted to the business 3 zoning and the agricultural zoning where it's already permitted. So this is something we have discussed and I've discussed it with both the chief of police and the code enforcement officer, and something I wanted to put before the commission to discuss this evening. So I will stand for questions. Like I said, this is one of kind of first impression for the commission, and we haven't talked about it at all. So if the city wants to take a little bit of time before going through with this, I got no problem with that either.
I mean, I think it makes sense if we're not gonna allow breeding of dogs, why would we allow the breeding of anything else? I mean,
I agree.
I agree also.
so, I mean, if we're comfortable, is there a motion to adopt this? Or like I said, if you don't really have a motion yet, but I don't have any concerns. I mean, there's no reason to allow a residential place to breed cats, mice, ostriches, all the above. Evans or Tony, what do you think?
So I'll make the motion to adopt ordinance number 2135, amending Article 12, Section 3. Definitions to revise the definition of kennel, boarding, and kennel breeding to include all animals, and repealing ordinance 1002.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? If not, done.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion passed 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for all that work.
Good.
That's a lot. Okay, item 6, CDBG sewer improvements.
Yeah, so this is very much like the other type of extension request that we've done for the current project that we're under with our sewer system. And so this is a 6-month extension to June 14th of 2025. And this just allows for that project to be completed with a CDBG. This is just another one of those steps that we need to take with this project. There's been some delays with it, but the project is moving along very nicely now. The lagoon has passed its seepage test. We have a lot of the equipment that is being installed. The electricians are there, lots of equipment showing up. There's still some things left to do on the project, but the project is moving along very well. And so this is just allowing that time for this project to be complete. And so I would ask for the, I would ask for the approval of the contract extension for the CDBG for June 14th of 2025 and authorize the mayor to sign the documents.
And this doesn't impact any future things at all.
No, not currently.
I make a motion to approve the CDBG sewer improvement 22-PF-020 time extension request.
I'll second that. It's been moved and seconded to approve the CDBG sewer improvement extension. Any further discussion? Not Don.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion passed 3-0. Patrick, you're up.
Good evening.
Found a lot of money to build a new building, right?
What's that?
So you found a lot of money to build a new building?
You know what, I've done a lot of things, but money and sense is one of them, so. Well, as you can see, your new truck's here, so after the
Yay.
commission meeting, I'll be happy to give you a tour of it, so. But onto this, last commission meeting, we talked about adding the building out behind the fire station or remodeling a bid for the storage of, now that we have an additional truck at the gas station. So been working with Brad, reached out to several different contractors here in Hiawatha, and we've kind of come up with a plan for a planned approach to remodel the portion of the gas station to house one of the old brush trucks. And I'm here to get your blessing to move forward with it. So we were gonna do a staged approach. One of them would be, one bid would be taking the awning off, removing the old gas island and building the concrete approach. I have another bid from a different contract company, Dynamic General Contracting, to take out the electrical in there, because electrical's in the floor. And then a second bid. So the first one was from Brad Rosenberger to take out the awning and do all the concrete work up front. Second one was from General Dynamic for removal of the electrical and everything. Third bid from Brad Rosenberger would be to add new concrete or additional concrete inside the building and bring down 2 cinder block walls. They're not supporting the ceiling by any means. And that would finish it. And then the fourth bid would be General Dynamic General Contracting coming in, framing in the wall, putting the garage door in and insulating the building. With all that said, since it is kind of a staged bid process, the total of it would be $26,150.
Not 2,026.
But it's doing it in a staged process. That way we can get it done quicker so we can continue to have all of our apparatus at one address. Because right now we're housing one of our brush trucks at the city building. Here in
Where?
the city building.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I think that's great.
Like, so it's $800 to do concrete and stuff like that. But it's, I got 4 bids from them, 2 from each to do it in stages, just because one person can't do one thing without doing it.
And the money?
The money is actually in our capital improvement. And talking with Brad, talking with the firemen, this is a small piece of our capital improvement that we have instead of spending. Because we did get some bids for a building out back of the fire station where we currently house one brush truck, and that was upwards of $50,000 to $60,000. That didn't necessarily seem appealing to us when we can do it in half the cost.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
Then maybe put some paint on it to make it look nicer. Or something. Yeah.
You know, anything's possible on the
I know,
weekends.
I know.
I got your motion,
I
but
don't know. It's been there so long.
I'll come help you paint my drawing. So,
what, excuse me?
so are you asking for our blessing?
I'm asking for your blessing because each one of these bids is under the $10,000 mark.
I would still like a motion to move forward as a whole project. I think that'd be also prudent here.
I will make a motion for the fire department chief Patrick Sheldon to move forward with the project as a whole. In the amount of, do I need to say that?
I have current bids in front of me, so it is $26,150. Right.
In the amount of $26,150.
Like she was coached on that.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moving in second to move ahead with the fire department project. Any further discussion? If not, Dawn?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion passed 3-0.
Thank you. And, talking to Brad and everything. We are trying to get like a 10-year plan for a new fire station. By hopefully just spending 26,000, we can save that 150,000 that we'll have left over. An opportunity to put towards, a 90-10 or an 80-20 grant. So by the time we're able to get that grant, we would actually have more money to save that. So
But now it's not a panic thing.
it's not a panic thing. No, panic's over.
Good.
How long, I mean, when will they be able to start on it? Is it?
I was told the earliest they could start on would be the 15th. So now that I have this, I think they're gonna start on the 15th.
Wow. That's exciting.
Way to go, Hector.
Thank you. Oh, one other note.
Yes.
Rain truck sitting out there. It ran its first call this morning. There was a rollover accident on South Kestrel, just south of the house, and it went on its first call. So we've had it less than a week.
I have a question.
What's that?
Was there just one man in it? I am so impressed with that,
Impressed with what?
that only one man, if necessary, can run the whole.
No, there was actually two firemen that responded to it. Since it was kind of close to the three chiefs' house, we kind of hold it. So,
I thought she was asking about the accident.
right.
She wasn't gonna get an insanity on that one.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I really, if you guys haven't seen the new fire truck, it is unbelievable what it can do.
Got big tires.
I know it's not, mine, I didn't get mine.
Okay, thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.
Moving on to communications. Brad, anything there?
I don't have anything to add to this. We have the revenue and expense report. We have the November 2024 income statement. We have the November 2024 fire runs. And we have the chamber newsletter for December of 2024 as well.
Any questions or anything? Okay, we'll move on to city administrator comments.
So we did go out to bid for a used HPNR truck and we received 0 bids for that. And so we need to, I would like some discussion on how we would like to move forward with the HPNR truck. I've thought maybe that we can go, I know some places that have some of these. We did receive one bid late, but it was once again for a new half-ton truck. It was, but the bid came in late. It was outside of what we had asked for. And so it was rejected, but that was all we received from where we sent these to. And so we could proceed a few different ways here. We could go out, I can go out, see what's out there, get quotes, bring those back. I would just like some kind of direction on how to move forward here as far as getting a truck for the HPNR department.
Now, we still have the last bid for the new truck, right?
That's correct, yes.
And that was a 3/4,
That was a 3/4 Chevy.
which, and the thought with the truck of that size is that we could use it for more than just HPNR if necessary, right? Or am I?
Yes, that's correct, yes.
And we've been doing this for 2 years? Oh, since COVID.
Since COVID, since I believe 2020 or 2021. Yes.
What was the bid on that?
I have to look that up. It was 44,000.
I just don't know that we're ever gonna be anything too much cheaper than 44. I mean, we can't even get a used truck bid. I guess I kind of go along the lines of, that yes, we need to have oversight, but we also have to, each department head's able to do their budget. And this has been budgeted since 2020.
And the money's there.
Right, and I said, I was a little unsure and talking to Brad, it's like, this is something if we needed to put another snowplow on it, we could. there's just other things we could use it for, not just everything that Stacy would use it, so. I just think it's time that we move, and if we buy a brand new truck, we're not buying other people's problems, and I would guess we're gonna have that for a significant amount of time.
That bid was from Lewis Chevrolet, that would have been for $44,891.40.
I hear what you're saying there. But I disagree. I still think we need to lease all of our vehicles. And I really hope that the next commission, newbies will consider that for everybody. 44,000 for a vehicle. And I know that's the going price. It's a ridiculous going price. I'm against it.
So, I know you mentioned leasing before, and I believe they're down also, but I can't speak intelligently to it. I don't know, Brad, if you have an opinion on leasing vehicles.
Leasing vehicles can, especially when you're talking about traditional leases that normally a regular consumer would think about. It's not something that cities normally do. A lot of times we do a lease purchase, which allows those dollars to be spread out over a long period of time. We have done this in the past. I know that there are leasing programs out there where you have cars for a few years. I've researched some of this. I know the enterprise does with police cars quite a bit. You can save some departments money. It can cost more money. We have to target that towards what our needs would be as far as fleet vehicles go. We would have to make sure that we're saving money that way. I believe it could be done, but I've also heard horror stories where it's cost cities lots of money. But I think some of those cities were quite a bit bigger. I mean, it's hard to get a fair comparison. I mean, I would need to do more homework on the traditional leasing, what more people think about. I know we've done a lot of lease purchase in the past, allowing those dollars to be spread out over a period of time. Same thing we did with the excavator. I know that, like I said, I hear good things and I hear also bad things about leasing. But like I said, I think that's targeted towards each town.
Well, may I say something else? Dominic, could you use a new 3/4 ton pickup? I mean, maybe the water department could. What I'm saying is maybe somebody who needs or could use in their department rather than Parks and Rec, get a new truck and get one of theirs. I mean, Parks and Rec doesn't need a new 3/4 ton pickup. And then say Dominic needs it, so he borrows it. No, that doesn't, see what I'm saying? That doesn't make sense.
If we could put a plow with it, like said, we're a conglomeration, everyone could use that truck.
Right, but it makes more sense for you to have it because you're gonna be using it more than Parks and Rec will. What's Fred or Stacy gonna do with the 3/4 ton?
Well, this is where it's unfortunate that Stacy's not here to speak more on what she would use it for. I mean, I think the idea of going to the 3/4 tons is then it could be more versatile.
She can borrow it from whoever had it.
And I think that they probably use the truck more than what you and I realize.
Yep.
Because we're not there every day.
Just my opinion. I respect yours.
Yeah. And like I said, it's unfortunate that we approved it clear back in 2020. Through the purchase, and then we had two of them just, say they're gonna get us a truck and then never.
2020 wasn't $44,000 either.
Nothing, well, but that's where we're at now.
I know,
I mean, that's a whole.
that's
other
why I'm
discussion.
against it. Give us another year.
It's,
We have a different president.
well, I will go ahead and make a motion to purchase the HPNR truck from the current bid that we have. Is there a second? So the motion dies. Then I guess we just have to keep moving on and see what else we can do.
I would like to discuss, would it be possible for, as far as used trucks go, since we did not get bids, to go out to reach out to dealers that I know that have used trucks, bring those back? Is that something that we could do at this point?
I thought we just did that.
Well, we sent out a bid pack
Yeah,
for
for
sealed
bids.
bids.
I think if the commission makes a finding that our bid process is impractical, we've done that before, especially when we have one vendor for repairs, things like that. And so we have made an effort. So I aim to bring it back for approval through the commission. So yes, I think that there's a finding that the bid process is not practical in this particular situation.
I mean, obviously, we haven't had much luck yet, so we need to do something different. Does that have to be a motion, or can we just?
We can do it at the time, bring it back.
Because right now we don't even know what's.
Okay. All right.
And the second thing I have tonight is, for Don Boyles is going to attend the 2025 IIMC annual conference. That is going to be in St. Louis this year, so it's going to be a tremendous opportunity for her to go to the IIMC conference. I know this will go a long way towards getting her certified as a city clerk. Is like I said, tremendous opportunity. Where was the last one you said?
Last one is in Calgary.
Yeah, so this one is quite a bit closer, and like I said, it's a good trading opportunity. I just kind of wanted to get that out there that she's going to be going. This will be in May of 2025.
Then I'm applying for the cost was $700. You get $50 off for being the first timer. $50 off for being in our region. And I'm applying for a $500 scholarship.
Great.
The cost for the conference itself would hopefully be $100.
Sounds good. Anything else, Brad?
No, that's it for me.
Okay, moving on to governing body comments. I already said mine earlier that I love the way the decorations looks. City Hall looks pretty spiffy, so thank you for all the work that everybody did that. Dave's not here, so Tony.
I have nothing. I hope everybody had a very happy Thanksgiving and excited about the new truck. And that's it. Thank you, Mayor.
That was,
I have something to.
entertain a motion to adjourn.
Oh, a second.
Moving a second, any further discussion? If not, Sean?
In favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion passed. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.